Yeah, this is okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay, I'll just introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Or is this too soon? We don't have to record. Is it too
I didn't
soon?
know we were starting right now. Yeah, give
Okay,
me a minute.
Gong Show Tarot. I am your benevolent host, the Cosmic Threader, and we are here live to tape with Kaylyn Ryan. And that's a cool coincidence because I took a theater program in Edmonton, and my program chair, God rest his soul, Timothy Ryan, had the same last name. And he was a great influence on my life. And now I'm out here, you know, I don't want you guys to think I'm just a host. I'm out here doing work. I'm promoting the show, Gong Show Tarot, live to tape. And my guest, welcome to the program.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening. Can you see me?
I don't know either. It's okay. I can see a wall.
Hold on, hold on.
Now I can see.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
There's your beautiful face.
All right, so are we live? What are we doing right now? Are we live or is this a test?
It's live to tape, so I'm recording this.
Okay.
And I can broadcast this with your permission later. You know, I think it's fine. And now you wanted to come on the show and talk about all kinds of things. I'm always excited to hear what you say. Like, you speak and people listen.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, I think we all have a story to tell, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So one of the things that interests me the most, besides how hysterical you are, I really enjoy your YouTube channel, is your willingness to go for these leaps of faith and your willingness to kind of just surrender to the unknown and just, I don't know, like, doesn't everyone have their own challenges? But I think that you're one of the ones that sees the bigger picture and the broader scope. And I really love that you just kind of surrender to it every time.
You have to, and I think you should surrender to it. It's not always easy, but speaking of faith, I just got this full Bible this morning, Old Testament and New, from the JWs. They study the Bible. I'm not a JW myself, but they know the Bible, man. Say what you will about them, they can be annoying. They ring the doorbell too many times, but they do know the Bible. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. I make fun of them. I make fun of myself. I make fun of my guests. So I'm sorry if I offend you. That's not my intention. First, I want to ask you, the first question I have for you, just let me check my paper here. I wrote down a list of questions for Kaylyn. And she's a light worker's journey on Instagram and probably elsewhere. Are you a light worker's journey elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, on YouTube, Instagram. Most of my work is on Instagram.
Yeah. So let's just look here. Oh, onking. I want to ask you about onking. What in God's name is onking? This is something that you were talking about in a live, and I was trying to follow, and I don't get it. What is it?
Okay. So let me just disclaimer. I'm not like a professional teacher on this topic, but it is something that interests me, and here's why. I'm all about life force. I'm all about chi. I'm all about us using it for healing and using it for just being the best versions of ourselves, right? Because when we're aware of our energy, we can just multiply and magnify, I should say. So with onking, it's really interesting because you're using an orgasm, but you're, instead of just giving it away.
Go back. A what? A what now?
Orgasm.
Oh my goodness. I haven't had one of those.
I know. I was a high school English teacher, so I feel comfortable talking about weird topics, if you will, in an objective way, because this is important. Like, the orgasm is really powerful, and here's why. If you look at society and how they try to keep us in this inverted root chakra, and what I mean by that is they try to distract us, and as I said on the live, with titties and ass, they want to keep us in the lower vibration of the root chakra. But what we can do is we can use our root.
An old lady walked by as you said titties and ass. I had to share that. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
It was meant for her. But what we can do is we can utilize our lower chakras, our root, our solar plexus, and really the sacral, to kind of, when you orgasm, instead of just releasing it out in the thin air, the shape of the ankh, you know what it looks like, right? It looks like a cross with a loop on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
The idea is this, Tim, that and it takes a little bit of practice or not. When you orgasm, you just kind of pull it up the way you would pull up a breath. And as it comes up to the crown, you kind of loop it back into your body. So you're looping in not the actual like ejaculation. Yeah. Okay.
Now, if I need a coach, do you coach this, right? So if I need a coach, no? Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
No. I just gave the best explanation I could, but there are many others on YouTube. If you look up onking, you will see there are people that can explain it probably much better than I can. I just know it's worth trying because I think any of these life force practices are worth trying. And I'm always about gaming the game, right? So I'm going to game their inverted root chakra game, and I'm going to just explore these things and share them with others as they resonate, you know?
I love that you're brave enough to talk about this, and I love that you're exploring this. I wish you were a coach because I would hire you immediately.
You are your own coach, Tim.
I'm my own coach. Okay. Okay. Maybe this is a solo exercise. Okay. Next question. You're an entrepreneur, right? You're into entrepreneurship and coaching starseeds, I think specifically. Do you want to talk about that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you want to talk about star seeds at all and your star seed experience? Do you want to?
Sure. Yeah. So why don't I do that, and then I'll tell you a little bit about how I kind of wear multiple hats, and that's how I survive and thrive out here. So I've always been awake, if you will. Awake in the dream is what I call it. Ever since a kid, I looked around at this place like, how is everyone following along on this game? Anyway, it wasn't until, I don't know, maybe about 8-9 years ago when I decided, like, completely screw this. Like, I was a teacher for 7 years. I said no. I was married. I said no. Everything in my life, I stopped living a false life because I did. And I think many starseeds, we choose to be indoctrinated so that we can either A, light up the area, or B, kick rocks and get out, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. You're totally a lot of us are escaping what people refer to as the matrix or the grid or the trap. I just call it boring. You know, and because we feel deeply inside, I think, that we have a mission.
Yeah.
And when we're stuck in these jobs that aren't part of that mission and they're taking all of our time and all of our energy, then we realize that we're not in the right place. So we start these Joe jobs, you call them 9-to-5s, and then it never lasts. For me, I never last.
Never lasts. Either quit, get fired, walk out. Something always happens, right?
Yeah, I've rarely been fired. Usually it's me walking off. I don't know about you, but and it's like I'm seeking. And I feel like with Instagram specifically, I've connected with a lot of people that are on this path. You call them light workers. That's something I want to talk to you. What does light worker mean to you? What is your definition of light worker?
Well, I mean, let's just start by saying that all these words are just words that are helpful in conversation. I'm not attached to the word, but light worker is exactly what it sounds like. You work with light, you work with truth. The truth is light, the dark is mistruth, or truth that has yet to be uncovered. So a lot of people do this whole light love thing, and that's really cool. But I don't know that they realize that light is being brave enough to speak and live your truth and to come through authentically and evolve, you know?
And to travel through the darkness, right? There's that old phrase, you know, I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death. And I like to add, and I survived, right? And I lived through it.
And I'll feel no fear too, because you can't be, it takes bravery to live your truth and to live in your light, which again is the truth. So I agree with, I say that often myself, to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and feel no fear. That's always resonated with me too.
Yeah. And I see you wear 444 on your beautiful neckline there. Does that have special meaning for you, the 444?
I mean, it has quite a few meanings to me, but it's just a necklace. But for me, 4 means solid foundations, as far as like a numerology perspective would go, but really it means angels are all around you. So I don't know that I can wear it for myself. Sometimes I think I wear it for others that see it. It's just creating more synchronicity and ripples out there, but yeah.
Good. Yeah, for me, it's I like 7. Number 7 is speaks to me. I'm a life path number 9. I don't know if you're into life paths. I'm a number 9. Do you know yours?
I'm a 22. That's kind of why the 4 is significant to me.
So you're a leader. You're my leadership. That's why I'm following you. I call you the human lighthouse. I hope that's okay. I mean it as a compliment. I mean it as a compliment because I think there's a lot of people that you keep motivated. I think people look to you when they're maybe down, and you bring them back into the light, right? And you sort of show them a path that, you know, yes, we're in retrograde. All these planets are in retrograde, but you don't have to stay down necessarily just because it's retrograde. You know, you can bring yourself up, you can bring other people up. Dogs. You're always showing pictures of these adorable dogs. Do you own a dog yourself, or are you just no?
Okay. I'm too much of a wanderer, and eventually I will have my own dog again. I have in the past. I love dogs. I am the white galactic dog as far as mine astrology is called, but I just connect with animals, period. You see me with so many dogs because one of my multiple hats is that I'm a house sitter and dog sitter. Back in the day when I was a teacher, I started doing that in the summers, just for extra cash and because it's easy to, I love going to sleep and getting paid and staying in, you know, nice families and their homes. And, you know, well, now it's just, people love their dogs so much and they love having people stay in their home instead of putting them in a kennel when they go away.
I love, if I had to pick, I'd be a dog person, but I also love cats. I think I have a gig for you. It's funny that you mentioned a white dog because there's someone on here, you may already follow her. It's called Ashley Explains Everything. And she has a little white dog named Bella. Now she's in the US. I think she's somewhere around Mount Shasta. And she needs someone to maybe babysit her dog because she wants to go overseas. So I thought of you. So there might be a gig there for you.
Do you see how these things
Explains Everything. And she just did a post this morning that she's afraid to travel because she doesn't want to leave Bella, and I automatically thought of you. So maybe there's a gig for you. Another question.
And you know, sometimes I find that I do exchanges. Like I have a great friend up in Colorado, and she needs some help with the things she's doing and with her kids, and we've discussed an exchange. I like where we're at this time in transition on a global and collective level because I'm seeing more and more of us realize that A, this is a tag team event and that it's all word of mouth, and B, that as long as you show up, you don't got to show off, you just show up and all these beautiful things keep unfolding for us, right?
Yeah, bartering is fine. Like you said, exchange is better than cash. I mean, cash is still king, but exchange is even better. And I think I have another friend that I've interviewed on this show that I love dearly, and she's developing, she's got Better Than podcasts. Her name is Lindsay Zimmerman. She does Better Than podcasts. Please listen because she's doing God's work, and she's developing an app called Better Than Barter. Now it's not ready yet, but and she's in the US too. She's in South Dakota, but she moves around. Like you're based in Philadelphia, but I think you're in the West right now, yeah?
Right now I'm in Arizona. I'm all over, man. I was just in the Smoky Mountains last week. I was chilling with a friend in El Paso. Yeah. I have embraced, you know, let me start by saying, I used to get down on myself that I was such like a wanderer spirit. I remember being even in my 20s and thinking, when am I going to have 1 year that's just the same the whole year? And I do the same thing the next year. And, you know, I've gotten to the point where I realize I'm single. I don't have children. I tried marriage. That didn't work. And to tell you the truth, I don't really want it because I'm a lion, man. And you can't cage a lion. I like adventure. I want to live.
Yeah. How long were you married, Kaylyn?
What's that?
How long were you married?
It was a short marriage, about 2 years.
It was 2 years?
You know, it was about 2 years. It was one of the ones where someone proposes to you and you don't want to say yes. And then you're like, shit, am I going to wear this ring into working on Monday? And I did. And then I was too afraid to call off the wedding. And I remember when I was engaged, it was a very short engagement.
You knew before you got married that it wasn't right. That's interesting.
Oh, I knew the whole time. I was telling my ancestors, I would sit outside and drink wine and smoke cigarettes and tell my ancestors, I'll do it different next time. I'll do it different next time. But I really did have the intentions of signing up for a true marriage. And I really gave it all my effort. It became very toxic. And you know what? It taught me the best lesson of unconditional love, because when I left, a hitman and have him killed. And now, believe it or not, I did. I was so mad. I thought he ruined my life. I was embarrassed is what it was.
Yeah,
And
question. I have a question, and I ask all my guests this, or I'm going to in the future. Are you nuts? Are you?
I'm a little sarcastic. I'm not, you can call me nuts. I'm a little sarcastic.
Fantastic. Okay. And you have